Imagine this. It's a Memorial Day weekend. This is a time where you're supposed to give thanks and honor to all the men and women that literally left their families and who fought and died for your freedom. But instead of thinking about any of that, you decide to fully take advantage of these next 3 days off. So you go ahead, you go into your kitchen, you grab the potato chips, you run on over to your living room, you jump on your couch, kick off your shoes, you go ahead and turn on some Netflix, and then about 20 minutes into your movie, since it's not enough dopamine, you go ahead and you look over at your phone, you grab it, you decide to mindlessly just start swiping on TikTok. 10 minutes goes by, 20, 30, 40. Next thing you know, you're looking at things that you know you shouldn't be looking at. One thing leads to another, and then all of a sudden you find yourself in the bathroom for the next 20 minutes doing and looking at God knows what. And then once you're done doing your thing, you come on out, you decide, I'm hungry, so I'm gonna go ahead and order some DoorDash. What took your ancestors days to hunt and gather, you literally just ordered straight to your door within 15 minutes. As you sit there and stuff your face watching the rest of your movie, within 10 minutes you fall back into a food coma and you're out for the next 2 hours. Finally, you wake up, you look back over at that phone, and you decide to start the process all over again. And this happens all weekend long. And you're thinking nothing about it either. You're living life like a king without even having to lift a finger. For a while, this was literally my life, bro. Constantly immersing myself into pleasure, into sin, poisoning my life. Started smoking weed, constantly just indulging, becoming weaker and weaker and weaker. I got so low and so far from God that I didn't even recognize myself anymore. I had lost sight of my purpose and became degenerate. Pleasure became my first priority above all else. And then I think to myself, I'll just ask God for forgiveness and everything will be okay. Which it's like, hey, I don't think it works like that, buddy. Long story short, last year, 2022, God allows me to hit that bottom, and now 9 months later, I've been on a journey to become my most masculine, most God-fearing self, putting away those selfish desires and focusing on purpose, allowing that to be my first priority above all else, which has resulted in this movement here on YouTube, which I'm so grateful for. Not only because it's cool, money, success, a little bit of influence. I mean, that stuff's cool, don't get me wrong, it feels nice, but even more importantly than that, the thing that I'm most grateful for is the accountability, which is number one. Now that I'm living every single day with purpose, I have thousands of men relying on me to show up day in and day out with new content, new videos, new wisdom, new information and knowledge. I got these dudes, I got this community on my back, bro. I got editors, 5 editors right now that are relying on me every single week to provide them with a new video that they can edit and put together so we can keep this movement going, right? We've built up this tribe and it's like, I can't go back now. The tribe, the crew, the team is relying on me. And I think that's the biggest thing that I've learned out of all of this as a man. At the end of the day, every single one of us dudes, every single one of us men, we need accountability. That is the only way to truly improve. Think about it. Our ancestors had tribes. And if the men didn't go out and go hunt, guess what? The tribe dies. It starves to death. See, check it out right here. There's a huge difference between accountability and responsibility. Responsibility is cool, but it doesn't require much of you besides just admitting where you were wrong.
Oh yeah, I cheated on my wife and I admit I was responsible for getting this girl pregnant. Oh yeah, I admit I'm the one responsible for making that bad investment. My bad.
See, you can always be held responsible for your actions, but if you truly want to change your actions, then you must be held accountable. Accountability keeps you from making those same mistakes. So at all costs, you need a tribe around you, or even just one man for all that matter, one person that will keep you accountable. You need that one dude who you can go to that you can trust, that will actually slap you upside your head when you're falling off track. See, men, we're always our worst self the farther we are from community. Anytime that we're isolated, anytime that we're hidden away, we know we can always get away with anything. But the second someone else is watching, the second someone else has eyes on you, now you're actually held accountable for your actions. Therefore, you're gonna now become the best version of yourself. Number 2, choose your battles wisely. Look, let's face it, most of us men, we're already defeated before we go into battle. What I mean by that is this. So you guys know the story of David and Goliath, right? What most of you don't know is that this story almost ended entirely different. See, at this same exact time, David had a brother named Eliab, And before David went out into battle against Goliath, he actually came face to face with Eliab, and Eliab started judging his motives. He started kind of coming at David kind of sideways, and he basically said, what are you doing here? Don't you got your own duties? Don't you have your own sheep to tend? Because at this time, David, he was super young. He was only 13 years old, and he was actually tending sheep at the time. So imagine this, bro. Imagine if young little David, imagine if he continued to argue with his brother for the next 2 hours. What would have happened? He would have missed his opportunity to go out and fight and defeat Goliath. But instead, he realized, Eliab is not my enemy. Goliath is. Thus, he went out, stepped onto that battlefield, and took Goliath out. It's hilarious, bro. I used to spend so much time looking through the comments on my videos, trying to find the mean, hurtful ones. I would forget about all the nice comments, all the compliments. Forget about those ones. I would look for that 1 out of 100, that one hateful, that one hurtful one, just so I could get mad and get bitter and attack back, right? Didn't even make no sense at all. And then I kind of had this like awakening moment where I thought to myself, you know what if I spent a fraction of that energy blessing people instead of trying to defend myself and attack back and try to convince these guys that are just committed to judging me and misunderstanding me? I'd probably be about 10 times more effective. So the moral of this story, hey, stop wasting your time worrying about Eliabs and start charging towards your Goliaths. Like how I was doing, we're all spending so much time distracted trying to fight these little side missions, these little battles, while losing the war. Number 3, discipline. Now, I was just watching this video from Artistic Motivation, really good YouTube channel, and I wrote down something they said. They said Spartans were one of the most feared armies of all time, but they were only strong when they practiced discipline. But when they allowed their obsession with comfort and luxuries to creep in, that's when they became weak and faded away. That right there, that was their chink in their armor. And check it out, I got this Bible verse that I read earlier today as well. It's from the book of Proverbs. It says, whoever loves discipline loves knowledge, but whoever hates correction is stupid. It literally says that. It literally says if you hate correction, you hate discipline, you're a stupid idiot, pretty much. So check it out, bro. This is all I see these days is men out here, young guys who are thinking, who are just looking for the next best book, the next best quote, the next best little TikTok or like Instagram reel that's gonna just pump them up and take them to that next level, dude. Rather than actually putting in the work, rather than actually digging deep and transforming from the inside out. Because real transformation ain't fun, bro. It's not just a great, good time. Nah, bro, like you gotta go through the fire. But instead you got these little soy boy, little worm, little noodle guys out here thinking that there's just some magic formula or a magic quote that's just gonna build up this fire in the belly and my whole life's gonna change instantly just because I read some little quote that got me all fired up. See, hey, check it out, bro. Let's be real here. In these modern times, there is an abundance of comfort and convenience, all just readily available at any moment. You could literally live like a king right from the comfort of your own couch. It's wild, bro. Like if you were to take the men of old, if you could let them have some kind of insight or have some sort of vision of our men today, they would trip because, my guy, they didn't have no...
It's Mental Health Awareness Month, so let's relax and talk about our emotions and our mental health.
And not to say that that's like something to look down upon or anything like that, but they didn't have no like 3-day weekends. Oh, let's go to Vegas and let's paint the town. They didn't have none of that, my brother. They didn't have the luxury of, I'm just feeling a little off today, so I'm gonna take off work, or I'm gonna sleep in today and just kind of enjoy my time, No, bro, they had to move. They had to be on high alert at all times. Death was right around the corner. And because of this, they had to be at one with God. They had to make sure that this was right at all times because at any moment their enemy could come in and take them right out. Number 4, train your body and mind. Now these two things, they go hand in hand. And the problem with most men today, 99%, who are into self-improvement, they only focus on the body part. They only focus on training their body, but they neglect the mind. This is why you have to be unlike 99% of men. In order to charge your mind, you must unplug from the world and plug into a more powerful source. The things you listen to, the things you watch. I mean, what's the ROI on these things? You think the top businessmen in the world are sitting here listening to Lil Uzi Vert? You think they're sitting here listening to Lil Baby? You think that they're spending their nights watching pointless, stupid TV shows and just degenerate degenerate things, spending hours on Netflix, watching sports all day long. No, because there's no big return on that investment. Number 5, never stop building and sharpening your skills. Hollywood celebrates the weak man. It celebrates losers, lazy people. It literally is like cool to be stupid. You got fathers who are going out running amok, who are being goofy. You got rappers on the other hand who celebrate degeneracy, who celebrate going out for the weekend and just hooking up with random chicks rather than taking the weekend to build yourself, build your empire. Think about it, dude. Why do you think girls these days literally say things like men are useless? Because let's be real, a lot of us men have become absolutely useless. And back in ancient times, if you were useless to your tribe, you would either be casted out or just done, taken out. Back then, you had to make yourself useful. You had to contribute to your tribe in some sort of way. This is why you see so many women disrespecting men these days. It's because they just simply don't respect them. So, hey, my brother, the only way we can change this world is just one at a time. It starts with you, it starts with me. We have to become our best, most useful self. Contribute to other people's lives. Contribute to your church. Create a YouTube channel. Contribute yourself to people, to helping young men, kind of like what I do. God is ready right now to use you. You gotta answer that call. Number 6, become a producer. Now, in a world full of just consumers, you got all these dudes out here constantly trying to show off, show how cool they are, right? Because they got the new latest sneakers, they got the new Jordans on, the exclusive, they got the next best gadget, the next best iPhone, the next best this, the next best that. And it's like, okay, unless you actually like work for these companies or like your job is actually in the fashion industry, okay, cool, that makes a little more sense. But it's just kind of funny because most of these men are usually the same guys who are doing the least. And then therefore, they're kind of like overcompensating for their lack. And I say this because most of the time when you're mission focused, when you got things that you need to do all day long, right? You have a full packed slam schedule, you don't really have time for these kinds of things, bro. And see, when you see guys like this that are just straight consumers, that are hype beasts, that are always worried about their looks and about showing off, most of the time these guys are spending so many hours investing all this time into looking good, opposed to actually building and creating something and contributing to the world. Guys like Steve Jobs, Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, like, bro, they don't got time to like be doing stuff like this. And I'm not saying like you have to be one of those types of guys on that level, that magnitude, but I'm just saying when you look at your most top tier guys, they're not all decked out with the latest greatest, right? It's funny because I even like just a little over a year ago, I was all immersed into this world with fashion and trying to have the exclusives, trying to have all the just the next best things, right? And I even like created this little Instagram account, and sometimes I'll throw stuff on there every once in a while, but I created this Instagram account called Dre's Daily Drip, and it was just basically to show off all my drip, right? That was it. It was just kind of like a flex page, right? And it's funny because now I think about posting on that and I'm like, bro, I don't have time to do any of that. I don't have time to go onto the Grailed app and go to all these like thrift shops and go search online and like bargain with all these sellers and try to get all these exclusive drops and stuff like that. It's like, hey, my life ain't like that anymore. I'm spending every waking minute of my day producing, creating, putting my hands to something. Now, hey, look, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying to like never buy yourself anything nice, or I'm not saying to you don't go get the new iPhone. I'm not saying anything like that. I'm just saying priorities. Most of the time when you see guys that are fully just dripped out from head to toe, most of the time that's their number one priority. They're more of a consumer, which is fine. If you want to go that route, hey, cool, that's all you. But as a man, I just personally don't think that we're called by God to be a consumer. I feel like God is calling us to be more so producers. He's calling us to create, to contribute. And then along the way, hey, here and there, yeah, buy yourself something nice. The other day I just bought my first Fear of God hoodie. A lot of the hoodies that I've been buying lately are just kind of like cheapy because like I always kind of, I'm a little bit of a penny pincher, right? So I was like, no, I'm gonna buy myself a nice hoodie, one that will actually last and that's actually good quality, that feels good. Number 7, mind over feelings. See, this right here, this is how the kings of old conquered. See, our feelings and our mind tell us two drastically different stories. Our minds will tell us, hey, wake up early, go and get that workout in, eat healthy, while our feelings tell us, hey, just hit the snooze button, take the day off. Oh, that donut, that won't hurt you. And right there, weak men, they always choose the things that will benefit their feelings first. They're the type of guys that'll say things like, I'll just start tomorrow, or I'll just start after the weekend on Monday. Yeah, I'll start then. And so, hey, check it out. Using your mind is actually a skill. The more you use your mind first, the more you make those harder decisions, your feelings will then slowly but surely start to align with your mind. This is why people all the time, they ask me, Dre, how do you do what you do? How do you stay so disciplined? How do you stay on track? track the way you do? How do you produce all this content and not get tired, not get exhausted? And it's like, hey bro, don't get it twisted. I'm right now making this video, I am exhausted. I am completely tired. I had a late start actually today, and I've been filming all day. It's literally 11 p.m. right now. I've barely eaten today, and I'm wiped. And I was gonna go to bed earlier and just start this video tomorrow, but I was just like, you know what? No, I'm gonna push through today. I'm gonna get these videos done like I said I would, like I had committed to doing. And the reason why I'm able to do this, like even a few years ago, I wouldn't have had the strength to be able to do this. But the reason why is because I just kept making those hard decisions. I kept going with what my mind was telling me, not with what my feelings were telling me. So with that said, my brother, thank you so much for tuning in to today's video. Please give it a nice big thumbs up. That helps me out a lot. And hit the notifications button to be informed when I drop new content. And I'll catch you on the next one. Check out this video right here if you want to catapult your life to the next level. It's powerful. And I'll catch you on the next vid. Peace always.